Here we are tonight at the basement. We have a great lineup of people to interview tonight. But first, a recap on the recent events of Cold War. The U.S. and Soviets were allies during World War II. They began to pursue opposite goals towards the end of World War II. The Soviets wanted to spread communism, so they set up a necessary buffer to protect them from the West. This blocked off Western Berlin. We are still currently airlifting supplies and food to them. Crazy Carm with the story.
We are here in West Berlin, and I wish I had an umbrella right now because it is hailing extremely hard. Wait, this is food coming down. Oh my God, the Allies are giving West Berlin. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh. Hot dog buns, and they are delicious. The people are going wild. This is unbelievable. I'm going to wash this down with a Coca-Cola. Coke and hot dogs. What a combo, people.
Thanks, Crazy Carm. The Berlin Airlift is sure doing a good thing for those Western Berliners. Now a message from our sponsors, Pod's Pets.
Hi, I'm here at Pod's Pets, and we got lizards, we got dogs, we got monkeys, we got birds. So get on down here to Pod's Pets. It's gonna be a good deal. Necessarily? I don't know.
I'm here with Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviets, and President Truman, the leader of the Americans. They've had many differences, but on this occasion, they have teamed up. Now, Mr. Stalin, how do you feel about teaming up with President Truman and the United Nations?
Well, I think it is good to prevent war.
And President Truman, what made you decide to team up with Mr. Stalin?
Well, I believe that if we all join together and we are one, I think that it'll keep us from aggression against each other.
This is very funny because Germany has been divided, actually divided amongst your countries. It's a little contradicting. I would like to know, Mr. Stalin, what's going on in Germany?
Well, the country is divided between the East and the West. And we contain the eastern part, and the Allies contain the West. And also, since Berlin is the capital, they also contain the West Berlin, and we have East. And we are cutting them off from supplies so they can starve. I don't care.
And President Truman, the Marshall Plan. Explain that to me.
Well, the Marshall Plan is a plan that we've come up with to provide food and machinery to Western Europe so they could rebuild after the long war.
Now, gentlemen, the world is at a very difficult time. Is there any last words you would like to say tonight?
Go Soviets.
Go United States.
Thank you. Peace out.
Now here's a live interview with the one and only Joseph Stalin and President Truman.
Hello, my fellow Americans. I am here tonight with Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, and President Truman, the leader of the United States. We all know in the past that the Soviet Union and the United States have had their differences. Now, President Truman, what makes you oppose the Soviet Union?
Well, I dislike the Soviet Union because they are communists, and we know that in the past, in previous history, it has not worked and has ruined governments.
What are you trying to do to fix this?
Well, I have many things I'm going to do, and one of them is the Truman Doctrine, and I will financially support other countries that reject communism. I've also come up with a policy of containment, and I will try to limit the amount of countries with communism, and I have full support from Congress. I've also come up with NATO, which is a bunch of countries together that will fight against any country if any of the members of NATO have been attacked.
Okay. Okay. Now, Mr. Stalin, what makes you oppose the United States of America?
Sorry. Well, communism is the government of the Soviets, and it is the superior government of the world. So naturally I want to spread my policies of communism, and I do not like the Americans because they are trying to stop that. So, to prevent this and to rival NATO, I have signed the Warsaw Pact, which is basically the same thing as NATO.
Very well. How do you feel about the Truman Doctrine?
I don't like that. I really hate that. I hate this man. I can't do anything about the Truman Doctrine, though. I cannot.
Now, it has occurred to me that, and the rest of the world, that you boys are very competitive. Now, Mr. Stalin, please explain to me how you feel about the space race.
Well, the USSR is the superior country. I mean, what can I say? We launched Sputnik, right before the Americans, so, I mean, clearly we are the superior country.
Well, you did launch the Sputnik, but we did create the first atomic bomb, the hydrogen bomb. And not only that, but we have also put in a ton of money into our education and science and created NASA, a space thing.
Gentlemen, I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
No!
Break it up! Break it
Jesus!
up! Break it up!
Get him off!
Break it
Get him
up!
off! Get him off! Get him off! Ah, jeez.
Down!
Hey!
Down! Not on this show, boys. Not on this show.
You got
I'm
him?
taking you in.
All right. Get him up. Get him up.
Very carefully. You got his hat? Do you got his hat?
He's good.
As you can see, these two superpower nations are on the brink of war, which could lead us into a nuclear holocaust. Well, this is it for tonight on the podcast, Channel 95. Thank you very much and stay tuned for tomorrow.